Okay, guys. Good evening and hello. Welcome to Resident Evil 7 in VR. I hope you guys can hear me. And this is the title menu in VR. It is the caravan. You get to look around. And the actual detail on it's really quite exquisite. If you really, you go and lean in, the RE engine really does show itself off really well in these up close environments. You get a full 360, and you get to see more of the caravan than you do in the actual game, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it all looks pretty good. I'm playing from a seated position, and if you're not aware of how to play RE7 in VR, it plays exactly the same as you would if you were just playing the standard PlayStation 4 version. You use a controller. It doesn't use any of the Move controllers or anything like that. It plays exactly the same, and that's one of the reasons why this is one of the best VR experiences going. Even though it's like 2.5 years old already, this is still reference quality as being one of the best. So, I was originally going to use the VR playthrough of this to do Madhouse, but in all honesty, I'm not confident with my ability with the game. So I'm probably just going to skip it and just do a normal playthrough first, and then we can all laugh hysterically as I suck at Madhouse. So yeah, you'll notice that when we get into the game, the visuals do take a bit of a hit with VR, unfortunately, but you can mitigate it somewhat with the PlayStation 4 Pro, which is what this is running on now. I will probably start from scratch. I can't actually remember how. If I click load game, can I relaunch? So let's take down Evelyn. So that's the end of my last playthrough. So it doesn't do a new save, a la the games usually. So we'll probably just go from the beginning then. Like I say, we'll play it on normal, and we'll see where we go from there. There are some limitations in VR. The videos display as flat images on your VR screen.
Hello, and I love you. Oh, good news! I'm gonna be coming home soon. Yay! I cannot wait to be done with this babysitting job and come home to my loving husband. I miss you. Oh, I gotta get back to work. I love you, Ethan. I miss you so much. I'm sending tons of kisses. Bye, baby.
Ethan. You were right. I did lie to you. I shouldn't have. All I can say is that if you get this, stay away.
Hey, it's Ethan.
Oh, hey. You alright? You just disappeared the other night.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. It's Mia. She's not dead, she's alive. She's back.
They found her? How? What happened?
I don't know. Look, I don't know how, but she's back. She's back somehow. Maybe it's a prank. She wants me to come and get her.
Where is she?
Dulvey, Louisiana.
Dude, it's been 3 years.
I know, but what if it is her? I have to find out what happened.
So this is still a flat video image, we're not actually into the VR part of the game. Hello, Nick. Nice to see you. And now we are in VR, so you'll notice there's some strange things that happen with the VR mode, is that you get these weird fade to blacks which don't occur during the standard game, and that's a bit of a shame. There is some transitions missing, and you'll notice floaty limb syndrome for certain areas. But for most part, this is. Let me know if you guys can hear me as well, because I've got no settings when you're in the VR, when you've got the headset on. I've literally just got the game, and I can see some message bubbles popping up of you guys speaking. So, hello, Oracle Dragon. Hi, CC, I believe that's you. And that's cool. So we'll just have a walk around. As you can see, the visuals have taken a little bit of a hit, but it's a lot better once you get into the main game. So we will go. This is what you're probably going to see is a very weird fisheye version of the game, I imagine. Let me just open up, just having a look. Yeah. So it is a bit weird when you're not watching. I can't stress out the immersion when you're actually like in the game. It's not going to look amazing for you guys, but hopefully you could just see the sort of hash job I do of playing this. Like I say, it uses DualShock controller. It plays exactly the same. It's just really the perspective and how you choose to look around. I don't use incremental turning, so it literally is playing exactly as I would do, with the exception of the fact that I can now look around, and I'll show you some cool things that you can't do in the standard version of the game in a minute. You need the VR headset and you need the camera. But yeah, the game itself runs on a DualShock 4. You do not need Move controllers. I only picked up my Move controllers a couple of months ago. The inventory sort of hovers in space like this, and you do get slight problems, whereas if you have some environmental and you press the inventory button, you can't actually see it, so you have to sort of come away. It was a really sort of early VR game, and it does stand the test of time that it is still one of the best. But we will get into it. So things like that, you don't get Ethan's hands, you just get the implication that he's doing something. If you can hear me blowing or whatever, it's because it's like 28 degrees in my living room at the minute. It's unbearably warm. There's the sewer gators van, and this is one of the sort of first cool things you can do. The PlayStation VR allows the possibility of actually leaning, and what you can do is, if there's a file, if you actually physically stand up, then you can see beyond the kind of stuff you could see in the game, and you can also go in. You can actually physically, I'm actually stood up now leaning forward, which is ridiculous, but I can now actually see details that were previously obscured, because obviously with the main game version you can't go in. So, and you can do that all around the Baker house. You can stick your head in the fridge. There's nothing particularly of note to see, but it's just an extra level of immersion that the sort of standard game can't give you. Accept her gift. I will just go on to say that I still think this game's phenomenal. I know it's got its haters, and I will never understand why. It'll get better once we get into the guest house. I just cannot play these games with like incremental turning and things. I don't know how people do it, to be honest. When it's like that. It does help with VRC legs a little bit, because I know motion sickness is a real problem for some people, but thankfully I have been unaffected. And before this game, I was, as an naysayer of VR, I never ever thought it would be a thing I'd be interested in. I thought it was a fad, a gimmick, and it was really this game that convinced me how good it can be. And now I pretty much love everything in VR now. It's still not something. It's not something I would like to just sit down and do every night, but for certain games, I'd never ever go back now. For this. I would always play it on VR. I find it very flat and dull experience, and that's not being a snob. It's just honestly, I can't describe the level of immersion until until you give it a go. I think it's worth paying the money for. Put it like that. It's amazing how messed up that is. So there's just an example of like how broken some of the transitions are. Games nowadays have got ways around that, but yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. That does look so messed up. One of the disappointing things about the PlayStation VR is the fact that surround sound disengages. It disables itself. The only way you can get surround sound when you've got VR on is just use headphones, and it uses like a sort of fake faux VR. Yeah, I think Batman was the same when he tried it, when he got to do the VR experience thing, and it's a real shame. Some people, one of my close friends, actually like had to sit down for about 2 hours after his first VR experience. It nearly ruined him. I mean, I will say I'm not even getting the best experience tonight because the lenses are quite condensed with just how warm it is. There's an example of like how broken it can be at times. I can't actually see, so you have to sort of reposition yourself, move away, and then do that. Someone remind me, in the normal version, when you look down, can you actually see your legs and stuff? I can't remember. Because your body is actually invisible. And when Mia cuts at Ethan's hand off in the beginning, shortly, you'll see floating limbs, and it's quite in that sense, it's quite immersion breaking, unfortunately. But this place is properly creepy in VR. It's so dark, like literally, with the headset on, this is, aside from this little light source here, this is absolutely pitch black. I have no idea where I'm going until that. Which is one of the reasons why Daughters in VR is absolutely terrifying, because so much of it's in darkness. It's worth stressing as well that a standard PlayStation 4 does look quite rough when you're playing the VR version. The one thing I don't like about Daughters is it's designed for you to fail it until you learn how to do it right. There's actually certain things you learn about in repeat playthroughs that you wouldn't know the first time you played it, and in that sense, it's a little bit broken and definitely just designed as a kind of DLC chapter as such. There is a floating limb.
Ah, fuck! Fuck!
Like, yeah, you can lean into the sink now and see additional details. You can get right close to. You can get, you can literally, if you see it, you can get right close to it, and it does break a little bit if you try and put your head into certain things. It goes black, like that. But you can open the microwave and literally go right in, and you can actually see the detail. It's exquisite. You get right into the crow's mouth. And likewise for the fridge. You can get right in there and just see how truly grim it is. You can. I don't know that, Nick. Actually, unfortunately, as someone, I don't have a HDR TV, so I don't know if it can run both in tandem. I would probably say no, given that I imagine the VR's already a fairly hefty toll on the console. If I stand up now, I can see on top of the fridge. Of course, you do look giant if you stand up, because the game is meant to be played in a seating position, but this is ridiculous, and no one will believe me until you actually try it for yourself. But like when I'm standing up and I'm sort of trying to sit down, because obviously I can't see my living room, sometimes you will actually it's weird and it sounds stupid, but you will reach out to something in the game to try and sort of brace yourself so you can sit down properly. It's ridiculous the amount of times I've nearly fallen over, in trying to sort of steady myself against a table that doesn't exist. It sounds ridiculous, but it's genuine. It's a trick of the mind. Anyway. The fact that you can actually get like right up close to things and see them, see all the little gory details and stuff, does make up a little bit for the lack of environmental description that we've talked about in the podcast and things. Just realised that looks nothing like Marguerite there. What is that? Yes, I don't know whether you guys were here to hear what I said at the beginning. Originally, I was going to do the VR playthrough on Nightmare, but I'm not confident enough that I'd be able. Madhouse. I'm not confident I'll be able to do it. So I will rest it. I'll rest that idea for a little bit, and then come back stronger once we've played through it properly. Because I would imagine I haven't played the main campaign since the DLC came out, so it's well over a year ago now. And I still don't see why they couldn't be typewriters. But you get some nice details and stuff there. The books are frustratingly annoying, like RE2 Remake, in that they've made no effort to put decent textures in there for you to read.
Who? Where did you find this guy?
Give me a break, dude.
Hey, I only work with professionals. Speaking of which, make sure the sound is right this time. I don't want a repeat of Amarillo.
I can't remember the name of the guy who plays
I
Pete,
don't do
but he is
ADR.
actually a Capcom staff member who you will see do their Division 1
I'm not
podcast.
feeling it. Again? Just don't be surprised if we have to make a change. New plan. We do a walkthrough of the inside first, then we shoot the intro.
Just like we always do. Just try to say the show's name this time, okay?
No problem. Tonight on Sewer Gators, another worthless fucking shit. Happy?
Ecstatic.
You can get obscenely close to these to the characters. You can be like,
Are we rolling? All right, let's go.
Get out of the way.
It's loud.
nice tweed.
After you.
Like the moths are really cool there because they are right in front of my eyes
So-
now.
Why are we in hell this time? Do you ever prep? What's the prep? Shitty house, spooky sounds? Ooh, is it haunted?
Unfortunately, that one's one of the more broken ones because the video
angry,
actually
you know?
starts off with a flat 2D
What's that?
image, and then it kind of awkwardly transitions to the 3D on or around that moment. It kind of doesn't work as well as it perhaps should do. The jump scare in the Mia video later when you play Mia's VCR game, and when Marguerite turns up at the end, that makes you jump a mile because it's just so in your face.
Not hillbillies, the Bakers. Jack and Marguerite Baker. And they were quiet, not backward. A lot of bad rumors about their son, Lucas. Bad seed, apparently.
Ah, shit! I know I should have worn my good shoes.
I can't remember. Can you even
Shit. Glad I had my shot.
do the lockpick trick?
Although, this would make a great backdrop. Andre, what do you think?
Remind me, guys. Can you do the lockpick trick in the VCR on this?
Andre! Andre!
In fact, you can because you get bullets from the. But I can't remember where the lockpick is. In fact, I think it's outside.
Where is he? Unfucking believable. This is the last time I work with that guy. I mean, producers, they come and go, but a good cameraman like you, Clancy?
Yeah, I think it is. I missed it because I can't get back outside now, which is annoying.
What the fuck was that? Did you hear that? Andre? Where the fuck is he? Andre, where are you,
How did
man?
Andre manage to get so far ahead and like not make a noise?
the hell? You gotta be fucking kidding me. All right, new deal. We find Andre and we go. I mean, fuck this show.
After you. It's so dark, honestly. It is. It's creepy as fuck. If something literally jumped out that doorway at me now, I would properly freak out. No problem. Thank you for dropping by. Anyway, it was nice to see you.
You first. Need a nice
Cheers,
hero
Pete.
shot of me coming down the ladder. So,
Again, floaty limbs.
you first. What do you see? What is it?
It was genius that they chose to market the game with beginning hour. It really was. It's like I don't want to do it, but I just don't want to do it. Let me come back up. Of course, this bit's properly in your face now. But again, it transitions to a 2D image, and the effects kind of lost a bit. And then we're back.
Jesus.
I loved how in beginning hour you could sequence break it and get different outcomes in the demo. It was a genius demo, really. But I will show off another thing in a second that again you can't do in the main game, and they thought that it's something that they gave a bit of thought to, because it's really quite cool what you can do. Floaty limbs.
Damn it.
Okay, so here we are in the basement, and as everyone who knows who's played the game, you've got to traverse some water now. And the great thing is, when you get down, so we're now in the water, and I can't describe how weird this feels, because your view is completely cut off, and although obviously you've not got the sensation of being in the water, it feels oddly claustrophobic. But if I dip my head down into the water and then lift it up, you just get a slight water transition on the screen. So they knew people would evidently try it. It's not much, it's just literally like a quick blur filter, but this bit's fucked up in VR, by the way. Those little bits where you properly press down. It just feels effective. And then obviously you get the jump scare here. Which is mad. And again, you can't really get mega close, but yeah, there's loads of maggots in his eye, and there you go. The detail is just exquisite, really, when you think about it. There is some good environmental detail when you look for it, and we were saying, weren't we, on Twitter the other day, that environmental detail is lost in the series, but there is some in this game if you look for it. things like that, when you get right close to them, they're really freaky, because like you can really like get your eye close, and it's quite off-putting. Like them, I can't stress how crazy the moulded look up close. So a hint that Clancy is still alive, which was obviously the big rumoured end boss of the original version of Not a Hero.
Mia? Thank God I found you. It's me. It's Ethan.
Ethan? Ethan?
You alright?
You shouldn't be here.
What do you mean? You contacted me.
No, I wouldn't. Did I? Did anyone see you? Did he see you?
Hey, who else is here? What the hell's going on?
Daddy's coming. We need to go.
Daddy?
We need to go now!
Where are you taking me?
Someplace safe.
Are you gonna tell me what's going on? Baby, you've been gone for 3 years.
3 years? Has it really been 3 years?
Hello, Mr. Spencer. Nice to see you. We are on one of the hottest nights of the year doing some VR headset stuff. See, stuff like this is really cool because you can actually peer through the gaps like that, and you can be just like Mia.
What?
Ooh.
What is this place? What'd they do to you?
Not now. We need to get out of here first.
I think,
it's this way.
bearing in mind we've got fans running and windows opening, we've got the monitor saying 28 degrees at the minute for Kyle. Thank you very much, Nick. Thank you for stopping by. I'll not do too much tonight, so I'll save it for like a proper stream, but it'll be interesting to see how this looks back when I edit it and things.
Mia, we have to talk. That message you sent me.
Not me. That wasn't me.
But you did.
Hi, Mia.
I didn't.
Okay, fine. Just tell me what's going on.
I'm telling you everything that I know. We have to go this way.
Mia, are you sure you know where you're going?
Family used to bring me food through here. I remember.
No, the room I've got the PC in is like a sauna at the minute. It's one of the reasons why I just thought I'd come down and do something equally as hot. But at least the living room is a cooler room than the PC room.
There. It's there. This is it. I remember this room. There's another door here. I'm sure of it. It's not here. It's gone. It's gone! We're gonna be a family now that you're here. There's another door here. I'm sure of it.
It's a really freaky opening. It's awesome.
Mia,
We gotta get out of here.
just stay here, alright? I'm gonna have a look around.
I do love the heat, but I can't lie. It does get unbearable when you can't get any air in your house. When you've got windows opening and literally no air's coming through. I wish I could afford a decent aircon system. prefer the room upstairs. But no, I'm definitely a summer person.
Mia?
And here's basically the spoiler for the entire game. Right there. But obviously at the time we didn't know it yet. It doesn't look bad. It's pretty cool in Daughters when you go out in it in VR. But unfortunately, that's about as good as you can see it. Just running down the windows. I can't recall if you ever go outside when it's raining in the main campaign. I think by the time you get outside later, it's actually stopped raining. The textures for the paintings are really, really good in VR. Very, very detailed. But again, you know, I can actually physically stand up and properly look into the bath. Can't really peer out. It's about as close as you can get to the window. Because I think if I go much further, I think it'll go to black. Oh, I'll tell you what, you do get a little... There is something out there. Which is pretty cool. I know, thankfully she's in bed. This is crazy, this kind of stuff. See, because it's like right in your face, it does make you jump a mile when you get those moments. But the transitions and the fade to blacks are a little bit immersion breaking. But all that looks fucked up when that's right in your face.
Yeah. Wait! Wait!
Because that knife is right in my eye.
I can hear her. I can feel her clawing her way back inside of me. Get out! Leave me alone! I've been bad. I deserve this.
And we're not far off it with augmented reality.
What the fuck are you, Mia?
don't really know this decent Mia strat, so but that's done it. Again, with VR, I can actually, again, stand up, and you can see well into details and places you couldn't previously see. But for now, we're going on to the telephone.
Have come here.
You can look down the tube of the cable.
There should be a way out through the attic.
Attic.
Go there. Now.
Zoe's amazing. Yeah, she's definitely the best thing about 7. She's just such a cool character as well. I just wish they'd done more with her with an end of Zoe. I do feel it was a little bit of a missed opportunity. Actually, just do a first save here. I hope that doesn't bloody overwrite my my last save. So I'm looking for the fuse, and I can't actually remember where you get it. Is it in here somewhere? Yeah, I think it is. Is she gone? Where do you get the bloody fuse from? Hello, Sonny. Nice to see you. Thank you for dropping by. I'm not going to be doing this for massively long tonight because it's far too hot, and this was mainly a bit of a trial run just to see how VR and Twitch works. This is a bit new territory for me. I know where the fuse is because I've got the bolt croppers. Bolt croppers, bolt cutters. We call them bolt croppers in the UK. Yeah, I'll need copious amounts of alcohol to get through that. But sure. That's okay, mate. It's not the simplest of setups. It's not too bad, but it's not the simplest. Fuse, fuse, fuse. It's alright, they carry me, the guys carry me through it, so I'm sure it'll not matter. There we go. Exactly the same texture, box, and everything as RE2 Remake. They certainly did recycle a few assets here and there.
It's okay.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's okay, it's me.
So you're going to see some weird floaty limb stuff, and the immersion's not going to be quite as good as when you play it normally.
Have done that!
The fades to black are really annoying.
It fucking hurts!
Yeah, certainly. Stars, space, stars underscore tyrant, I think.
Now, let's see what you feel. Your must contain the outbreak. Gonna win, I promise. Must burn it all down.
Ethan does well, really, to march on with a severed hand. Yeah, there you go. It fucking wants to be. So I don't know what you guys see here, but all I'm doing is a simple save. I don't know whether do you get the rolling smiley faces against a blue screen. I'm assuming. So I've already missed a box of handgun ammo. I suck at this Mia fight, by the way. This is the game that broke me on my initial Madhouse. Sorry, this is the fight that broke me on my Madhouse fight. I was just absolutely terrible at it. Smash Bros Ultimate, Breath of the Wild, top notch.
Okay, fine.
If you do feel the need, though, Hyrule Warriors is really excellent. So the aiming is one of the things that is slightly different, because what you do is when you press L to aim, L2 to aim, you don't use the right analog. You literally move your head to aim to where you want, which sounds weird, but believe me when I say it's so intuitive and works so well. The only drawback is with VR aiming is you don't get Chris's iron sight aiming in Not a Hero in VR, unfortunately, which is one of the only real sort of drawbacks VR has. Not a Zoe. Can you can go into this room beforehand. They get repetitive, and they can get quite old quite fast if you play them quite a lot in short succession. The Warriors games by God, I can't remember the name of the studio that does them. I know Tecmo published them. But they're the closest sort of game you have to, like, the Streets of Rage style games now, I think. You know, the big brawler types just in 3D. So that's why I'm quite, I have have an admiration for them for sort of replicating that kind of retro gameplay in a in a 3D environment. Well, let's just see how this is going to be. Absolutely horrible. This is. I anticipate deaths. Yeah, pistol, please. Oh shit! Thank you. I need to try and get her to smash the walls so I can get the circuit going. Oof. I hear the door go. Whoa. Oh man. Oh, I gotta get out of here. Mia, fuck off. She killed me. She killed me. Yeah, so that, as you can see guys, I'm really good at the Mia fight. I made one error and I've paid the price for it.
Okay, fine.
I don't know how you guys felt, but I felt that at the time, even though I did try playing Madhouse first, which was, in hindsight was a mistake, I do find this quite a crazy difficulty spike for the beginning of the game, and I do find like that the rest of the game is considerably easier than this. I think this is quite a barrier for a lot of people to get through, or maybe it's just me and I just really did just suck at this fight so much. But I really am rubbish at it. I just have no sort of effective strategy against her. I think it's a case, it's a bit like a Dark Souls boss, it's a case of not getting too greedy, and like if you see her do a charge, like don't bother trying to get a hit off, just run like fuck. Well, she's going to charge now, so rather than trying to get another shot off, like that. Tried to go for a shot as she was running there and took a hit. In fact, I'm not even going to take a chance. I'm just going to heal.
What are you hiding, Ethan? What?
No way. Yeah, fuck you, Mia. What loot did she drop? I can't see a column of light emanating from her, so I assume she didn't drop anything. I'll pick up the chainsaw, which hilariously has havoc effects on it. Look. Oh, Jesus. Fuck, that made me jump a mile. Oh, fuck. I only thought that happened if you tried to climb the ladder. Bastard. Whew. Oh, I love this game, Mr. Spencer. I know, like I say, I know some will disagree, but I felt this was a stunning return to form.
Don't you die on us now.
I know the story's not there, but in terms of an experience, it's great. So one of the more humorous things with VR is you can actually break cutscenes by simply moving out of them.
Who are all you people?
Yeah, you
Where's
missed, you
Mia?
fucker. So, I can show you some...
It's good.
Hello, Hello, Kendo. Nice to see you. Fuck you, Lucas. But yeah, when Jack tries to feed you,
He got to have your supper. Come here, boy.
I can literally just go, yeah, no, I'll just move away if that's okay.
He's not eating, Jack! He's not eating!
Get the hell up, Marguerite!
Nation for him!
Get the hell out of here!
You're a son of a bitch! Oh, you son of a bitch! He's not eating!
Yeah, no.
Feast. My boy.
What are you doing, Jack? So you can break it, but you shouldn't.
God damn it! I'll bet it's that cop again.
Goddamn pigs. I'm coming back for you.
You can get right up close to the table, see what they're dishing up. Hello, hello. Nice close with the ECG. Yeah, I tell you, it is boiling. It is absolutely crazy how hot it is, actually. But yeah, you can bring up the watch. Let me just get to where a light source is. And get right into it, which is cool. There's no actual text to read or anything, but it's cool enough. You can go into Ethan's arm. Well, the watch is just a classic sort of Resident Evil thing, reimagined, isn't it, really? I'm sure some iPhone watches and things like that have probably got someone's probably made that. The Unveiled Abyss by Clive R. O'Brice. You gotta love references like that. I noticed their TV's gone from End of Zoe. You can kind of get a bit closer and read stuff. It does blur out a little bit. You can get right up to Evelyn and go, "Hello, hiya," like that. If you are weird and me. Another cool VR feature is, obviously, when you get to something like this, you can somewhat lean through. You can't go too far because the game will just fade out, but you can look through a little bit more than what you could do. And certain windows later on, like on the ship, you can actually fully peer through, which is a cool feature. It's amazing, isn't it? It's gorgeous. And you can go right into that, which looks absolutely disgusting. Actually, see, that's they look like nails of sort. What actually is that, guys? What is that? What you got in the jars? Common English mustard. So this is the herb. Is it straight? It's like Sunny. Do you find it weird when in the UK us Brits call them herbs? We actually pronounce the H. Because I imagine it's equally weird for you to hear us say that. Is it for you guys to do the H as silent? Yeah, fucking Louisiana fried chicken. Oh god, I forgot he turns up now. Oh yeah, it's fucked up. And the great thing is you can do this, you can actually lean and properly peer around the corner. And you can go, shit, and fuck off. But the peering is just, it's quality, it feels properly scary. And then you go, shit!
Slip out before dinner was done?
I don't think it'll stop.
I see.
Jesus, he's fast. Fuck me, he's fast. You are far too fast, you motherfucker. Does the game actually... No, it fucking doesn't. Oh! And this is not Madhouse, this is just normal. My god, I can't actually outrun him, this is mad. I fucking can't remember anything.
Where in the heck? Fuck. Don't you go anywhere. Alright. Have fun in it, boy. I'm gonna come back for you later.
He did seem to be moving really fast there, but I definitely playing it on normal because I remember seeing it when I saved it last. I didn't know that, Mr. Spencer. That's quite cool. I wish I had relatives in the States. I've been there. I've been to America twice, and I really, really loved it both times. You can use herb on it. Oh god, it shows how long it's been since I played. I don't know if I'll have anything. Oh, right, okay. I do have some unlocks then. Oh yeah. I don't think I ever knew that. Combine that, I probably did, but can you remember? Let's use the Albert pistol, why not? There's a laser sight on it, it's really cool. The guns and stuff in this feel really, really ace in VR, actually, it must be said. I just wish it had, like, iron sight aiming.
You did good, Ethan.
Zoe, right? And what the fuck are these?
Shut up and listen if you want to stay alive. You gotta get out of that house. There might be a way out through the main hall. Oh, and that thing on your wrist is a codex. Don't lose it. It's important.
Hell of a girl.
I missed something in here. Item of thoughts. Remember when there was the early theory that that was Jill, and people did like image matchups, and it looked very similar.
Open up. Hey, over here.
Hey Marvin.
Hey, you gotta help me.
Hold on, back up. Now, sir, do you live here? I mean, is this your property?
What? Me? No. No.
All right. Now, we got several calls about some missing persons lately.
You don't understand. I gotta get out of here.
Now, calm down.
You're not listening to me. There are crazy people in this house trying to fucking kill me.
Well, all right. Let me tell you this. You don't exactly seem like you playing with a full deck yourself, all right?
Are you kidding me?
Look, like I said, we've had several missing persons calls. And I can't rule out that an outsider like yourself may not be involved.
All right. I'll tell you whatever you want.
All right. Now, that's more like it. Now, meet me in the garage. We'll talk there.
Hey, wait. You gotta give me your gun.
You must have lost your mind.
Look, officer.
Deputy.
Right. Deputy. Now, do you want to see my name in the obituaries? Or do you want to be a hero and save my life? A fucking pocket knife?
Here. Take it. That's all you're gonna get. Now go. Garage. Now.
What am I gonna do with a knife?
We'll open this box, Ethan. What do you think to that? Hey, it's the RE2 animation again.
Hey, we gotta get the
I
fuck out of
think
here.
you can break this cutscene by leaning out
What
like
about
that.
you?
No, it's my job. Won't you do your job and tell me? Answer my questions.
You're not gonna believe me if I told you.
Try.
I think Jack just appears, if I remember. Yeah, he just literally teleports in.
Fuck it.
kill every one of you.
He doesn't take too well to the Wesker model though. That's a good hit there.
Every day. Fuck you in the horseshoe road.
Tokyo Drifter. Yes, indeed. Once walking on my way. Oh. Oh, Jesus. I don't think I've ever had that. I think I'm usually the one that jumps in the car and then he does the joyride thing. I don't think I've ever seen him. And I know he could do that, and I've seen people do it on YouTube, but I don't think it's ever happened to me personally. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Hey, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Now, first, you need to tell me what you're doing out here alone in the middle of the night.
Me? What about you?
No, it's my job. Won't you do your job and tell me? Answer my questions.
You're not gonna believe me if I told you.
Try me. Hey, put that door back. Put that door back. Wait!
That's a hell of a sharp shovel, really, isn't it?
Fuck you. I'm gonna kill every one of you.
Oh. This is like a quarter of a mile. Stop it, guys! I can't fucking aim properly when you're seeing silly shit like this.
I told you. Don't you fuck with me.
I thought Jack didn't roll with American muscle.
Just shut up.
Fuck you!
Fuck you in the horseshoe road.
It is Ethan's car, yeah.
Better start running.
Christ.
I'll go get you.
Jesus Christ. How do you do this? I can't. Does guarding against the car work? Really? I'll tell you what, I'm gonna get in the fucking car this time.
Hey, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Now, first, you need to tell me what you're doing out here alone in the middle of the night.
Me? What about you?
No, it's my job. Won't you do your job and tell me? Answer my questions.
You're not gonna believe me if I told you.
Try me. Hey, put that door back. Put that door back. Wait!
Tyson Shaw.
Fuck it. I'm gonna kill everyone.
Where are you, fucker? Hey, you just teleported. Oh, hi.
Let's finish this, you and I. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take you for a ride. No.
I'm gonna take you for a death ride. Damn. Oh yeah, nice reference. It's actually a considerably easier way of beating Jack, isn't it? It's just literally jump in the car. Oh, you do actually have to fight. I thought the car blew up. Oh, it does. So all you've got to do is literally run him over 3 times with a car, and that's a shorter way of doing the fight. That wasn't too bad. Oh, cool. I haven't experimented with this game enough, really. The thing is, Mr. Spencer, I'll defend that game. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is absolutely incredible gameplay experience, but it's wrapped in an absolutely shocking presentation. The actual gameplay itself is one of the best versus tag fighters I think you can probably. It might even be the best versus tag fighter in terms of how the mechanics work and things like that. It really is a phenomenally well put together fighting system, wrapped in the most shambolic, horrendous presentation.
Do I have your attention, boy? You're about to see something wonderful. Oh, fuck!
I don't think Dragon Ball Z or Fighters is even as good as Arc System Works Best, to be honest. I think Cross Battle Tag's a better game. It certainly looks the part, Dragon Ball Fighters. But then all the Arc System Works games look amazing now. MVC3 was great, yeah. I just miss the X-Men so much in that game. I know there's a couple, but the representation was a lot less. Hello Bettine, thank you for joining us. We're just playing a bit of RE7 in VR, where I've just had a horrendous time fighting Jack. It's a wonderful experience. If you ever get the chance to, I can't recommend it enough, to be honest. It's a transformative experience in VR, this game. I didn't really play Marvel vs. Capcom competitively. I used to like Phoenix a lot though, but I was rubbish with her. Lower health used to mess me up. In two, I used to have a X-Men team of Rogue, Gambit, and Cyclops. Cyclops I just used to love playing as from my Children of the Atom days. No, I've played this enough times. You still get the odd moment with a jump scare, but the actual game itself is not scary. Although the moulded up close are certainly a sight to behold in their grisly details. But for the Resident Evil, long-time fans, this was a great little reference. Let's give you guys a closer look. It was awesome. And obviously, the pure joy of seeing that person's name again was very special.
Did my daddy give you a hard time?
That's your father?
He used to be.
I'm sorry, but he's dead now.
You just might be able to pull this off.
What? Pull what off?
There's something I need you to do, but I can't explain it right now. You may need some sort of keys to do it, but find a way out of the house.
Okay.
I'll be in touch.
I played through Alyssa through the last run of scenarios, but I'll go for somebody different when we do the hard mode runs. Hey. See, again, you can lean around the corners and just see a few more details that the game would previously obscure you. Yeah, they come up as little bubbles at the bottom of my vision. They just sort of overlay across the screen. So I can see what you're saying there. Thank you for joining us as well. Nice to see some new faces tonight. Thank you. I'll not be on for much longer tonight because it's getting quite late here. And it's certainly not got any cooler. that, and then let's leave that. Let's finish up tonight with doing the Mia tape. So this was the demo that Bats got to play, the Batman got to play at a like a press event that, I don't know if it was a press event or a public. You could sign up and there was limited slots available and people from the UK could go to places and they got to try this demo in VR. I can't remember where he ended up playing. It was possibly Birmingham or something. Don't we all?
Ethan, if you find this, I know I can't expect anything from you. Not after what happened. After what I did. But I just want you to know that wasn't me. I don't know what happened. There's so much that you need to know.
There you are! You gave us quite a scare, young lady.
Catch me again.
This is freaky. Huh?
I am sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Oh, bother. Trying to remember this. Forgive me if I make some mistakes.
What have I done to deserve this except open my home and feed you?
Hey. See, I think the only thing that counts is where your character physically is. If you actually move beyond that with the VR, like I'm doing now, I'm stood up. Whereas, Mia at present is actually crouched. She still can't see you. It's one of those sort of funny VR quirks.
This house has seen more than you just don't understand. Or is it just I know you and Zoe are plotting. I know you were. Think I don't know what you want to do with that boy, Ethan?
Don't come over here.
I might be completely exposed here.
Gotcha!
Shit!
You've been a bad girl!
You had to go right. You had to go right through that door. Yeah, once she's seen you, there's pretty much no way of getting away. Especially in situations like that where, you're completely trapped. It's nice at checkpoints, really, really fairly.
This house has seen more than
See, all I had to do was just go behind here and it'd been fine.
Just don't understand? Or is it that you just don't care? I know you and Zoe are plotting. I know you were scared. Think I don't know what you want to do with that boy, Ethan?
How do these chats always descend into fast food talk?
No, don't come over here.
This section is quite scripted, so it's just simply a case of just waiting it out.
I'll feed you to my babies and fertilize the garden with what was left. We open our home. We open our hearts. And what do you do?
Someone explain the physics of these puzzles then. How does that work? This is quite well done in terms of claustrophobia. The walls really do feel like they're 1 inch away from your head. I'm partial to the golden arches actually.
She loves you. She wants us to be a family, goddammit. You.
I used to always rate KFC in all honesty, but they're really grim in Lincoln. We don't have very nice ones. I mean, ideally I would skip all of them and just go for a Nando's.
Why can't you see that? Embrace
But
us!
Nando's I don't really class as fast food, to be honest.
There are unknowns here, and you are not.
Nando's are exquisite, Mr. Spencer.
There's no way out of there, Biffy.
Maybe where you are, but it certainly doesn't. It doesn't have that here. Here was a really effective jump scare the first time you play in VR. Because this is just Marguerite's face is literally an inch from yours.
Where do you think you're going?
And I will probably look at calling it a night now. I'll just head to the nearest save room. But it's been a bit. I'm gonna get this downloaded and see what it looks like on an edit. I'm on PS4 load times for this game. There's no VR mode on PC, unfortunately. Still, they've still got the exclusivity. But look at that loading time, man. That's crazy. I think I need to rebuild the PlayStation 4 Pro's database, because some of these loading times on some of these games should not be taking as long as this. Never. They have opened one quite near me. However. Yeah, I know that's one of his favourite things to do, isn't it? Really am in dire need of a item box. I love the save room music in this game as well. I think it's really well done. Just quickly. I seem to think I can't take this yet. Is my memory getting me right? Yeah, I knew it. That's fine. Classic shotgun trap. Less crushing ceiling. Right, guys, I'm going to save up. I'll leave you guys to discuss American fine dining. But thank you for joining me on this rather experimental little stream of Resident Evil 7 in VR. I'll get back to this as soon as I have... It's a little bit differently when I'm streaming VR because I have to wait for TV availability. It's not something I have access to all the time. So, yeah, next time we'll get properly into it, and now I know it's working okay. I'll get some more of this done. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been great to revisit this again. Like I said, it's the first time I played the campaign in probably about 18 months, and it still holds up in my opinion. I absolutely love this game. So I will see you guys very, very soon. Thank you again for joining. Nice to see some new people. Hope you'll join us next time. And yeah, I'll see you very soon.